And so here's the first part of my thesis. God wants us to have intermittent physical rest. Rest is something God made inherent to creation, right? In the beginning, there was darkness. Darkness covered the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God hovered over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And God could have just said, "Okay, let there be light," and there was light for all of eternity. But instead, He also created light and night so that there would be rest. So rest is inherent to creation. There are multiple layers of rest. Not everything in the physical universe needs to shut down. You know, the breakfast that you ate this morning is still digesting whether you're thinking about it or not. You don't need to be awake at night trying to keep your heart beating. Your heart is beating continuously whether you're aware of it or not. The planets are rotating, the planets are revolving, and there are things in the universe that are happening without rest. Yet there are many things that we need rest for. There is rest in the universe, and there are multiple layers of rest. There is rest in longer periods. So in Leviticus chapter 25, it talks about the year of Jubilee. After the 7th year, the land gets rest, where there's no cultivation, nothing. The Israelites were supposed to use whatever produce they got from the land. So the land had rest. During the pandemic 2020, during the worldwide lockdowns, when there was less pollution, the land got rest. So cities like Shanghai and New Delhi, they saw a significant reduction in pollution because there was rest in the land. There's also rest every week. God had 6 days of creation, and then God rested. So God established that pattern of rest. And then there is rest every day. He created bodies for us to rest every day. He created a tiny gland called the pineal gland, which is right in the middle of your brain. And it's the size of a grain of rice. Very, very tiny. And when it becomes dark outside, this gland produces melatonin. And then when it becomes light outside, it stops producing melatonin. And it manages your sleep-wake cycle. Because God wanted us to rest every day. And this rest predates sin, right? Adam slept before he sinned. Rest predates sin. In fact, if it were not for Adam's rice grain-sized pineal gland, there probably would be no Eve, right? We sleep 1/3 of our lives. It was a normal thing to do. God would have made Eve regardless. Forget about it. God would have made it. Based on our temperament, Some temperaments want more sleep than others. They need more sleep than others, but we all need sleep and rest. What is the worth? Because we all like to convert things into objective numbers. What is the worth of a good night of sleep? What is the worth of a good night of sleep? In the Oxford Sleep Medical Journal, researchers in the UK found that getting consecutively good nights of sleep was as good as winning a lottery. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how much of a lottery, right? If it's a big amount, then, well, I might as well sacrifice a few nights of sleep. The answer is $215,000. So getting a few good nights of sleep makes you as happy as winning a lottery of $215,000. We all lost a few hundreds of thousands of dollars in the last few nights as we recover from jet lag.